All right, good afternoon, Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez. The final word is here live from number 38 in Denver, Colorado. And Alex, good morning or good afternoon to you, buddy. And I will say this, man, football right around the corner. We were out at camp last week. This week, it's getting real. We had the Hall of Fame game. Hey, man, you're a former player all the way up to high school. Probably could have played college ball if you would have been not injured a little bit in your senior year.
Too many spring breaks.
Yeah, and a little bit of spring breaks. But let me just say this, man. Good morning to you, brother. Love you. And I'm ready for some football. Saturday, 6 more days, Broncos in action. How does it feel to have football back?
Well, it's great, Joey. Good afternoon to all of our listeners, our people that watch us here on our page on the final word. We appreciate you. Your constant support means so much. Listen, Joey, football kicked off with the Hall of Fame game as it does every single year. The Rams and the Detroit Lions kicked it off on Thursday night.
Chargers. Lions. That's okay.
Chargers.
LA Chargers, LA Rams. Hey, they share a stadium. It's cool.
I know, it's like the Jets.
Same color uniforms. I get it.
Yeah, I get it. All right, so football is back, everybody. Football is back, and we are back at it. You're right. This place is beautiful. Walking in to number 38, again, a location that is a destination location for all your football needs this coming season. This place is going to be
packed. It's going to be packed, baby.
Packed. Parking is going to be something that you might want.
Get here early.
There's definitely parking garages all around this place, but huge shout out to our boss, Nate Lundy, everybody that does what they do here. Our show's ready to go. It is football season, and it feels good, Joe.
Well, I mean, I'm super hyped up. Last year, I'm a Jersey guy. You're not. I'm a Jersey guy. I still wear jerseys. Yes, I'm over 50. Yes, that's true. But I love the Broncos and the Nuggets. I'll wear it, but I won't just wear any jersey, right? I want somebody good, right? I want somebody that everybody's going to be like, all right, that guy was good or that guy is good. Last year was Bo Nix. I'm not going to get a jersey this year, but if I had to get a jersey, man, the guy I would most want to get is number
Micah
one.
Parsons?
No, yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. No, it's number one, Evan Ingram. I think out of all the guys that the Broncos signed this year, man, Evan Ingram is going to be a big part of what they do. Well, that's enough about that. The Broncos right now, another just training camp, right? I mean, same thing. We've done this 13 years. This is our 14th NFL season. I can't believe that. I was adding it up. 14 NFL seasons. And the training camp is about getting old, right? These guys are sick of seeing each other. They go to San Francisco, and what is that going to look like the first time they see other dudes to smack around? I mean, that's kind of what they want right now, right?
I mean, I think after camp goes on for a while, you want to hit another body, not the same face you see in the locker room. I think it's important that you have that diversity to hit another player besides your own teammate. And I think it's going to have a joint practice, right?
Yeah, two of them, Wednesday and Thursday this week. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, are you really going to play any of your starters? Are you going to play Bo Nix? No. Drake Greenlaw? No.
Well, they will be part of the joint practices, though.
Well, they will be part of the practices, but are they going to? They're going to have red jerseys on. They're not going to be able to touch those.
You're not going to be able to touch.
But at the end of the day, it's football season, and those guys are going to get back at it a little bit. Christian McCaffrey's coming back from his injury.
Yeah,
he's not playing on Saturday night.
No.
Greenlaw's not playing on Saturday night. Why would you play any of these guys? And one of the questions I want to ask Troy Renck, though, from the Durham Post, that's going to be joining us here soon.
Going to be on at 1:00.
Yeah, is because of the shortened preseason. Does that mean the first couple weeks of the season for all NFL teams, it'll be kind of like a preseason a little bit, right?
It is, and you could see that last year. I'll give you the indication. The Broncos-Steelers game in week 2, that 13-6 thriller that we all watched, Justin Fields and Bo Nix, it was set offense back 2 years, right? It was a bad football game. It looked just like a preseason game. You know what's hard is you're exactly right, because the starters, it really will be preseason, right? Because they don't play now in the real preseason. I think Sean Payton will play some of the starters. Sean's kind of an old school guy. I think he will. You won't see everyone get a free pass, but it's going to be extremely limited. And to your point, Alex, Sean McVay will not play any starter for any reason in preseason, and that's probably 10 to 12 of the teams. Let me ask you this, and I'll throw in Nick Archuleta, our man behind the glass.
And by the way, happy birthday,
brother. Happy birthday, brother.
God, man.
Thank you.
21 again.
Twice.
21 again.
Twice.
Yeah. Oh, hey, man, figure that out.
If you don't mind it, I got a few new ways to screw up my life. So
hey, I love it, man. I love it, man. You get to make up for the other 21 again. You can have a little back end on this one, right?
Yeah, we'll start over.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Hey, so I got to give you your 2 minutes of Rockies talk because they deserve it. Hey, let's face it. They came back, made a historical comeback on Friday. First team since 2006 to come back from a 9-run deficit in a baseball game.
Yep.
Pretty thrilling
You were
game.
at the game too, by the way, right?
I wasn't.
No, he was excited. He was out, probably just tired watching it. And 17-16, they were down 16-12 going into the ninth.
Yeah.
Scored 5 in the ninth. And then, to be fair, I was more impressed yesterday because they take out Paul Skeens, one of the best pitchers in baseball. They're down 4-0, and Jordan Beck hits a 3-run bomb. And now all of a sudden the Rockies are there. Now they win 8-4. Hey, man, I could see next year that this team could be relative to being competitive again. What do you think? Who are some of the key factors?
Come on, Joe. Not
Yeah.
a football score.
Hey.
17-16.
No,
Of
yesterday.
course,
Yesterday.
dude. How long
No,
have you-
Alex.
How long have
Alex,
you watched baseball in Colorado?
I
Right.
know. I get it.
Alex, I'm not worried. You're right, Alex, on that score. I was talking about yesterday's game, which was 8-4 Rockies. So 4 runs you can get by with, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the kind of game they're going to have to win. Is
Yeah,
a game like yesterday.
You go back to the days of the Blake Street Bombers.
Yep.
And you built your offense around the ballpark.
Yep.
Take down the Bradish barrier. Get these kids out there used to hitting out there.
Yep.
And you build some offense to help with the pitching because, like we were talking about earlier, you're not going to sign big-time relievers. You're not going to sign big-time starters. You're going to have to draft and you're going to have to trade for them. So best thing to do is to get your offense ready to go and pound your way to the end.
Alex?
The end of what, though? I want to know. Nick posted something after that big, crazy game on Friday night.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, it was great. It was Colorado Rockies' feet,
It was fun.
Field is back. Yeah, it's fun. So, it's fun.
I believe they are 30 wins and 80 losses is their record right now.
Why you guys
34
always
games
put me
back.
in this little pigeon hole when I have to talk about the Rockies? And we're doing this because it's your birthday, bro. Normally we wouldn't have this much
Exactly.
Rockies talk.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
But I will say this, though.
We appreciate that.
It was fun. It was fun. I was watching the game with my dad. It was Friday night. I'm like, Dad, they're still playing? I'm like, what's going on? He's like, look, it's like 17 something. I'm like, what? Like, is that even baseball anymore at this point? I mean, I guess, Okay, real quick. Our top pitcher for the Colorado Rockies, what's his record and what's his ERA? You know this. You should know this. Who's our
We
ace?
don't really have an ace.
There is no ace. Exactly.
We
But
don't
what is our supposed ace? Is it what's his name? Freeland? What's his name?
Kyle Freeland.
Kyle Freeland. What's his record?
I think he's like 4 and forever.
Okay. And what's his ERA?
Probably above 5.
Okay. That's not an ace.
But that's why I'm saying the Rockies have to learn how to do things differently.
Okay.
Well, okay, here's the thing. First of all, that kind of baseball, it's really hard. Up to this point has not really been sustainable. I mean, that's just like saying every game you basically are throwing an opener. They're going to get pitched anywhere from 2.5 to 4 innings. They're going to give up 6 to 7 runs a game over 9 innings, and they're going to have to win games 8-7, 9-8. I don't know that that's sustainable. I don't know. Maybe,
Not necessarily.
but I don't see a lot of games. Let's just say this. I wish him the best. I've seen a slight change since Walker Mumford has took over. Sometimes a younger guy, one thing I've learned from Alex, is sometimes you have to listen to younger people. And he might have told his dad, hey, you're done, man. I need to, you look at your results. I mean, it's embarrassing.
Here's what,
His name's attached to it now.
Yeah.
So
His
there's
name
a
is
difference,
attached to it.
He's probably on social media looking at how embarrassing
Right.
the organization is.
He's also 34.
Here's
He's
what-
not 80 years old.
here's what bothers me, guys. Again, and the draft just happened. We got Matt Holliday's
Ethan Holiday.
but we got Matt Holliday's kid.
Ethan
Right.
Holiday.
He
Ethan
was
Holiday.
the number 1 rated prospect in the draft.
He got picked number 4th overall. So yeah, that gets me excited. But what's going to happen here when he finally fully develops and he's back in the?
He's gone.
He's gone. We're going to send him away to another team that
Yep.
means absolutely nothing to us. So that's
Okay.
the problem.
Have you seen the Oakland A's?
I did see what they did yesterday, and
No.
I'm
I'm talking. Look at their history. What have they done?
Moneyball.
They've developed players.
yeah, Moneyball.
They keep them as long as they can. Once they can't afford them, they ship them off.
And get them both prospects to
And you get
restart
prospects
over
out of
again.
it.
So let me
Hey,
ask
what's
you,
that
hold
kid?
on.
Speaking real quick, what's the kid's name from Oakland right now that's hitting astronomical homers, man? The guy's
Oh,
ridiculous.
I can't. He was in the home run derby.
Yeah, he was in the home run derby. Anyway, I was going to say, I started. Go ahead, Alex. Sorry. I'll go after
My
you.
question to you is this: does that Moneyball theory with does that still really exist nowadays in this day and era where, big money, Dodgers, Yankees, Red Sox, big time teams are actually grooming their prospects and saying, yes, we're going to continue to grow our athletes here, but we're going to get rid of them once they're at the peak of their career, like an Aaron Arenado or a Matt Holliday or anybody else that has come through the Colorado Rockies organization that we've groomed, and now we just get rid of them. Bye.
So here's the deal. There are organizations who build their entire organization around that exact philosophy. And that is how teams like the Royals go to the World Series in 14 and 15. And why the Houston Astros became who they were is they originally, the Houston Astros in 16 and 15 lost 100 plus games back-to-back years in order to lay the foundation for what you see right now. And they traded off every single high-priced veteran they had. And now I'll say this, you look at Springer, you look at a lot of guys have already left that first World Series team in 17, and they've rebuilt and still maintain consistently, again, first place in the National League West. And they are not American League West, and they're not a high spending team. You would think the Astros, they're not in the top 5 in spending. The Houston Astros spend, I want to say they're 12th to 13th. Well, guess what? The Rockies are 17th. So the Rockies aren't 28th. They're not 30th in spending. But guess who's getting the most of that money? $31 million is going to somebody named Chris Bryant. How does that happen? That's where I think Walker Monfort can help.
Yeah.
I think that Walker Monfort is probably just as sick of it as I am. And what I've seen already from the last 2 weeks, I like.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to just shred them when they're winning baseball games. They actually have a 500 record, I believe, in the last 12 games. I think they're 6-6. I can live with that. That's baseball. If we get to a 500 baseball team, that means right now you'd be 3.5 games behind the wild card in the National League. You would have a chance. There'd be guys. I mean, there are teams right now. The Reds, I think, are 2 games above 500. They're firmly in the wild card race. I just looked at the thing. I think they're only 2.5 games out of the wild card, Nick. Double check. But you don't have to be that great to be in the wild card, Alex. So I think that there's a low bar. And I think the Rockies have a chance to be competitive again. But you know what, Alex? I'm with you on one thing. Show me. I'm so sick of hearing about it. Way too much.
We've spent 15 minutes talking about this.
We're done deal.
It's because it's your birthday, Nick.
Yep. Happy birthday, Nick.
Happy
Can
birthday,
we sing
Nick.
Happy birthday?
Thank you.
We're done. We're done with the Rockies.
Happy birthday
to Nick. Happy birthday to Nick. Happy birthday to Nick. Happy birthday to Nick.
And I posted something last night. Not only a great dude, great human being, our executive producer here at Mile High Sports, but he's also the color commentator for the Colorado Spartans.
He's the play-by-play guy. I'm the color commentator, but it's okay.
Whatever, you guys both do the same.
We do that.
And I just want to say, Nick, thank you. We wouldn't have anybody else without you, brother. We love you, man. You're awesome, dude. I love your crazy.
He's got the Elmo. He's got the Elmo thing.
Looney Tunes, and you're always your cartoon stuff, dude.
Yeah,
that makes you, man. It makes you who you are.
Yeah,
and we appreciate you. For all your talents,
baseball jerseys,
and everything that you do. You visit all these different stadiums. I know you guys. You got
30 or 32.
By the way, what's your podcast, real quick? I want to make sure that we plug that out.
Undrafted Uncensored. When we come back, we've been kind of on a little bit of a break.
Yeah, a little hiatus, man. Everybody guys take a break. Anyways, Nick, thank you for everything you do for us,
all
man.
We're gonna flip the script. Flip the script now. All right, man, let's get to training camp. And it's not just the Denver Broncos, right? I mean, we cover the entire NFL. And you said one thing that I was really, really happy about, and that's our good friend Christian McCaffrey's back on the field. And look, man, I mean, even though Christian and the McCaffrey family, you came up with an amazing poll question, a Suavecito poll question about 2.5 weeks ago, asking why McCaffrey wasn't in the Hall of Fame. And you know what's funny? I've heard other stations, no names mentioned, also now broach the question about Ed McCaffrey. But I think it's important to say that Ed McCaffrey, and you may be listening, you may not be, and if not, you'll listen on the podcast, Ed. First of all, we've enjoyed every interview Alex and I have done with you. We both sat with Ed and Lisa for minutes upon minutes, right? And Christian. I mean, who would forget your question to Christian at Super Bowl 58?
Yeah.
And it probably one of the funniest and best responses ever. So at the end of the day, I mean, for Ed McCaffrey not to be in the Ring of Fame, I think that's got to start being looked at. And I think you made a great point.
I think it's criminal, Joey, that Ed McCaffrey's
got to be looked at.
All right, here it is. The Gannett Jewelry poll question. Is there a reason why Ed McCaffrey, who played for the Denver Broncos as one of the primary pass catchers for the Denver Broncos during the Super Bowl winning years in 1997 and 1998.
Yeah.
McCaffrey played in Denver for 9 years, from 1995 to 2003, recording 462 receptions for 6,200 yards, 46 touchdowns, opposed to John Lynch, who was inducted as part of the 2016 Ring of Fame class alongside Simon Fletcher and Jason Elam. Lynch played for the Broncos from 2004 to 2007.
Right.
How the hell is Ed McCaffrey not in the Ring of Fame?
I want to say this.
I don't understand.
In the last 2 years, John Lynch, you had one less sack than John Lynch the last 2 years he was here. I'm not saying anything against John Lynch. I think it was Jojo Pergola, our good friend from Vanolas, actually had a great statement. John Lynch is more famous, right? He's more nationally. He's in the Hall of Famer. But I would agree with you. No way does he deserve in over Ed McCaffrey
is he part
for
of
the
that
Broncos.
Mike Shanahan, I don't want Shanahan in the Hall of Fame kind of deal? Is that
I don't know, man. You know what? Because that's another thing. As much as Ed McCaffrey deserves to be in the Ring of Fame, Mike Shanahan deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. That is a no-brainer. I don't see how that could possibly have not gotten done by now.
In with the Broncos, he didn't win a Super Bowl.
No,
he barely did anything. What did he get? A couple interceptions.
Yeah,
Joey?
he did nothing. He did nothing.
Is
Well, he had that 05 team with Plummer that went to the championship and got smoked by Pittsburgh.
I could tell you about
that's like you going to the arena or the semifinals in '95. You should be in the Green Mountain Hall of Fame
for one game.
Well, you did more than John Lynch did. You were better at Green Mountain.
On and off the field. That was different.
Right.
Off the field is different, Joe.
And that's but you think John Lynch maybe is more
maybe
off
because
the field?
maybe John Lynch because he
broadcasting
and he's a general manager for the 49ers and this and that, and he won a Super Bowl with Tampa.
Stayed in the game.
That carries more weight with the Broncos brass. I'm sorry, Broncos, if you're listening to me, Patrick Smythe, everybody, Schubert, dude, let's amend this and let's get Ed McCaffrey into the Ring of Fame.
I'm all for
this year and not waste any more time, because what they're doing is they're not giving legacy their flowers, Joey.
Hey, we got some breaking news too, and this was just broke early this morning, late last night. Zach Allen agrees to an extension with your Denver Broncos. That was a big one.
Awesome.
I think that is something that I think we all need to.
Who's next?
Well, you've got our boy Nick Bonito, and I mean, if you want to pound the table, I'm going to pound the table right now for Nick Bonito. Micah Parsons, as you mentioned, said he's done playing for the Dallas Cowboys, and guess what? There was a picture on social media, and you're the social media king of Micah Parsons in a Denver Broncos cap. Now, I don't know if it was Photoshop. I don't think it was. And then there was some comments, and one of them was, why don't the Broncos package a number 2 and a number 1 and Nick Bonito? And I put down, no way.
No.
I'll take Nick Bonito right now over Micah Parsons. I know that sounds crazy. Micah Parsons wants $40-some million. Well, he wants to be the highest paid player in football.
He wants that the money.
Myles Garrett
money. He's not going to get it. But here's here's something that we'll talk to Troy Renck here in about an hour about what I thought was really important. And then I'm going to correlate.
Do you agree that Nick Bonito should be next?
Yes. Not at a hometown discount yet. Just yet. Hear me out. Troy Renck last night or yesterday after Zach Allen signed his deal. And then you look at what Jerry Jones is saying, telling his fans, don't lose sleep over this. Are you freaking kidding me about the Micah Parsons deal? Yeah. How they don't lose sleep over this? But you know what? The Broncos in the last week have executed 2 contracts with $110.5 million in guaranteed money for Cortland Sutton and Zach Allen in the same week. No drama, no back and forth in the press, players and agents to be. Look at these guys. This is a whole different regime here with the Broncos compared to Jerry's world. You know, Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is one of the baddest MFs that's played in the league ever.
I'm going to just jump in. Micah Parsons, he never should have got this far. You allowed this to happen every year. First, it was Dak Prescott. He didn't get him done. Then CeeDee Lamb last year. Didn't get him done. Now it's Micah Parsons. You know, he loves this drama, but it's a distraction from the team.
Than the team, man.
No, but I think Jerry Jones likes the drama so much, man. He loves it. And you know what? It distracts from his team. That's why the Cowboys haven't been in the Super Bowl since 1995, going on 30 years.
Are the Cowboys still practicing in Irvine, California?
Yeah, Oxnard, California. Makes no sense. They have look at the facility they have.
It's like the Broncos. Hey, we're going to do training camp in Oakland.
Why did you build that Jerry World thing?
Why would you build all these
Just
facilities
ridiculous
to go practice in another state?
I know why. Revenue.
Weirdo. Just a weird dude, man.
We got to get ready. We got to go to break. When we get back, our great friend Bill Foss, he joins the Final Word next when you return to the Mile High Sports YouTube channel.
This is madness.
Spartans! What is your profession?
This is blasphemy. This is madness. Spartans never retreat. Spartans never surrender. This is Sparta!
My name is Anthony with Plunge Plus Plumbing. We've been in business for 16 years. We service from Longmont to Castle Rock and everywhere in between. We specialize in service work, underground sewers, water heaters, drain cleaning, faucet repair. If it's in your home, we fix it. We also ensure that our customer service is top notch and customer satisfaction is our utmost priority. Our motto is honest service, honest price. We're not going to sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need or that you don't want. We'll just take care of the issue at hand and be on our way. Most of the time we can get there same day. If you need plumbing, give us a shout. 720-434-5832. Or you can reach us on our website at plungeplus.com. We are proud sponsors of the
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Foss, the owner and maker of Suavecito Tequila. Suavecito Tequila is unique from any other tequila for three main reasons. The first one is my agave farm in Mexico. It's an hour and a half south of Guadalajara, and it's up in the mountains at a 7,000 foot altitude. So we have mountain-grown agave. Americans hear about mountain-grown coffee and mountain-grown grapes. They never hear about mountain-grown agave, okay? Only 8 or 9% of all tequilas are made with highlands agave, and it's superior to lowlands agave. Number two, I extra age my tequilas. To be a reposado, it has to be stored in a barrel for 2 months. I keep it there for 9 months. The añejo has to be in the barrel 1 year. I keep it 2 years. The extra añejo has to be in the barrel 3 years. I age it 5 years. That extra aging just gives it more body, more texture, and more flavor. And last but not least, we're the only tequila that adds 2% agave nectar back into the tequila. This little bit of agave nectar eliminates the burn going down your throat. Makes Suavecito Tequila the smoothest tequila you will ever drink.
My name is Anthony Mayer, owner and founder of Game Time PDR. We're located in north part of Denver, 6825 Broadway, pretty much on Highway 36 and I-25. So we specialize in repairing hail damaged vehicles. My technicians have special rods, and the goal is to get the tools underneath the dents, and with the special lights and the angles, they're able to actually massage the metal back to factory standards. We offer a done-for-you service from top to bottom. Literally, the customer doesn't have to do anything. They bring their vehicle to us, we get them under our specialty lights, we write up an estimate, submit them to the insurance, get it approved from the insurance, get it in production, get it washed up, and get it back to the customer. We do waive deductibles up to $1,000, and anybody that mentions the Colorado Spartans, we're giving them a $200 gift card. Go Spartans!
Okay, good afternoon, Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez. We are back at the final word, segment 2. And of course, it is time for our great friend Bill Foss from Suavecito Tequila. You will catch him during the football season, during the Suavecito halftime
He'll
show.
be here every
7th year in a row. And
That's
Bill,
7 years now.
7 years. And
I love
Bill,
how Bill breaks it down to you on halftime.
Yeah, I'm going to say this, Bill. The Suavecito halftime show has been great, and that's been with an average football team. Last year, they were a pretty good football team. I'll tell you what, many people say they're going to be a very good football team. I can hardly wait until we see some late season excitement here, like similar to last year.
Oh, yeah.
It really stepped up. Talk a little bit about, summer is just about over. Now it's getting to be fall football. How does Suavecito fit into your fall football Saturday and Sunday? Because it fits into mine every day.
He has to do his homework.
Yeah. No, he's got it. No, Suavecito, he doesn't have to do his homework on that.
He just has to wake up.
Yeah, I mean,
watch the games.
Yeah, man. Just out of Suavecito, I mean, it adds to every game, right?
Oh, of course it does. And no better way to spend your halftime than having a little Suavecito, your post game, having a little more Suavecito, and I happen to know a guy or two that even have Suavecito during the game.
Oh, my goodness,
Okay,
no.
well,
I believe I'm raising my hand. I have had it during the game, especially some of those close Bronco games, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Suavecito Tequila, small batch, handcrafted tequila for the true concierge of Suavecito Tequila. Traditional tequila is meant to be savored, not salted or chased. But Bill and Jeff and his staff over in Mexico have created Suavecito Tequila that is so different that it could be enjoyed so much differently. With the flavor so smooth that you have to try it to believe it. One sip is all it takes. There are so many ways to craft tequila, but there's only one Suavecito Tequila. And I will go through the lineup real quick. There are so many great ones, and we'll announce a new one as well. We got the Blanco, we got the Reposado, the Cristalino, the Añejo, the Extra Añejo, and your brand new, your new rookie of the year.
6-man, baby, 6-man. Starting 5 and 6-man, single barrel Añejo.
Go ahead, Bill.
Founders Reserve.
Founders Reserve,
Yep.
Bill. So the Blanco, for example, it's unrested, right?
Correct.
The Reposado is rested in 8 months.
Correct.
The Cristalino is rested in 8 months, charcoal filtered. The Añejo is aged 2 years in a retired bourbon barrel. And then the Extra Añejo, aged 5 years in a retired bourbon barrels. First of all, before you answer any of those questions, what is a bourbon barrel? And then we go into your new rookie of the year.
Well, in America, we make so much bourbon and whiskey in Tennessee and Kentucky and all those states. Well, the regulations are they can only use the barrel one time. Okay. So they either have to break it up or burn it or throw it away. But in Mexico, they learned that if they buy used bourbon barrels instead of brand new oak barrels, the tequila gets a little added flavor and texture from the wood that had handled all that bourbon for 6 or 8 years. And it just adds a lot of flavor to a really good tequila.
Well, you know what? Every time I have good friends and family over, the first thing out on the table is Suavecito Tequila. It's a great introduction to good friends. And, what I love is the relationships that Suavecito Tequila builds. I remember some of the best relationships we've ever had were built even meeting you, at the tasting at Lucas Liquor Superstore. That's how we met Joe Bruner, and met Lucas Liquors, a partner of ours for many years. I will say that we also have had our own relationships with you many nights just drinking Suavecito Tequila out on your balcony. And I think it's now become my all-time favorite drink. Give me some of your favorite cocktails that you like to mix with Suavecito Tequilas.
Oh, my goodness.
I know that's a lot. Just give me a couple that you enjoy.
Well, I just enjoy my tequila neat.
Yes.
So I don't make very many cocktails, but we have about 12 or 15 wonderful, wonderful cocktails on our website.
Yes.
So those people who like to have palomas and just margaritas or other type of drinks, go to our website. Myself, because I love the Añejo so much, I will make a Manhattan with the Añejo tequila, and it is fabulous.
Yum. Alex, you like your Blanco frozen in the freezer? It's not frozen, but in the freezer to chill it. But do you have Suavecito cocktails you enjoy?
Well, after you have a nice spicy meal, it's always important to kind of suit that spiciness with a nice Blanco. And again, a Blanco or any white tequila will not freeze in the refrigerator, and it'll stay nice and cool for you. But more importantly, Bill, right now, when you talk about these aged bourbon barrels, I didn't realize that the barrel only has one-time life to age something, because after that it's done, right?
Correct.
Because it ages the whatever it was, the bourbon or whatever it might have been. Then after that, you get one more shot at it, and then after that, that wood gets destroyed. But how important and how hard is it to get those barrels to actually, you have to make an agreement with these companies to say, hey, I want a bourbon barrel, and then you pack these away, you have to send them off, and they go for months and years to fermentate, right? Fermentation is actually what I'm trying to say, right?
Oh yeah. No. Mexico has been using used bourbon barrels and whiskey barrels for many, many years now. It's not something new.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And so all the distilleries have arrangements with the major bourbon and whiskey companies in America to buy their barrels once they've been used once. And it's just common. Again, I don't run the distillery. I just trained the chief engineer on the formula to make Suavecito tequila, but then they age it. How they get their bourbon barrels, that's up to them. But they got plenty.
Yeah, I know. Never enough for me. I would love to have Suavecito 24/7, but that's probably not healthy. Hey, let's get the needle moving towards football. Broncos, young quarterback, high expectations, and a good coach, I think. A solid guy. Reminds me a little bit of you, and coaching is so important. I think it's undervalued. We've had some bad coaches, right? Vance
And
Joseph.
you were a coach, Bill.
Right.
Yes,
Well, we've had, Alex, you'll attest. We've had Vance Joseph, Nathaniel Hackett, Vic Fangio. I think it's Sean Payton is a breath of fresh air. And being a coach, can you give me some of the characteristics you like about Sean Payton and some of the things you've watched over the past couple of years and now going into his third year? I think with his players, maybe some of the expectations you have for Sean.
Well, he's so experienced, and he hires really good assistant coaches. That's paramount. And then he knows the game so well. He knows how to make up the offensive and defensive strategies week after week after week. He makes the changes and adjustments with his staff. Then his staff works on it all week. And then when they come to the game on Sunday, they're an excellent team, and they're going to be even better this year.
And I think it has a lot of correlation to your team with Suavecito, because you only hire the best, Bill. Like us, you've hired the best. We've been doing this for 7 years. So when you align your mixologists or the people that are running your farms out in Jalisco, Mexico, you have to make sure that they're on the same trajectory level and the due diligence that you carry with what your expectation is for Suavecito. I think that has a lot to do with the Denver Broncos. Sean Payton's a championship coach.
Yes.
If he wins the Super Bowl again with another team, he'll be the only time a coach has won 2 Super Bowls with 2 different teams. So that's called the Suavecito method, how I see it. Suavecito tequilas are made with Highland-grown agave from the mountains of Jalisco using an extended aging process that goes beyond the regulatory minimum to create a rich flavor and a remarkable smoothness. They are the only brand to use 2% agave nectar back into the tequila to eliminate the unwanted burning sensation to create more of an enjoyable experience. Suavecito is so smooth. Once you sip it, you'll have to agree. Same thing, Bill. Talk about that 2% nectar that you put back into the Suavecito that makes that go, oh my God, it didn't burn. That felt smooth. That's why it's called Suavecito.
And that's why I put it in there. Some people ask me if it's an additive, and I said, no, of course it's not an additive. We are 100% blue agave. 2% of that blue agave is just unfermented, and that's the agave nectar that we're talking about. And because we're the only tequila that does that, we're the only tequila that has no burn when you're drinking it neat, and your tequila is going down your throat. It's the smoothest tequila you'll ever have.
I'm looking at this cereal box, Bill, right in front of me of John Elway. And, it's been a long time, really since Peyton Manning, that the Broncos have had a quarterback around here. And I know Bo Nix had a good first year. I'm not putting him in John Elway's category or Peyton Manning's. But I think it's nice. I think he's built some hope up here. Your thoughts on Bo Nix? You know, I mean, this is his second year. Isn't this when a player would probably more than likely develop sophomore slump, or is that, or do you think he develops a little further this year?
Oh, there's no question in my mind he's going to develop further. Just watching how he developed game after game last year, listening on the off season, how much time he has spent with the Mannings, Elway, and all these people, asking them questions, and Drew Brees, asking them what they did to become some of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. And so he's learning from them in the off season. He's that type of a person. He wants to learn, wants to get better, and works really, really hard at it. I'm impressed with the man.
Well, Bill's a coach at the University of Colorado, a place that you and I will be at, Joe, this Friday for Media Day for the Colorado Buffaloes. We'll talk to Coach Prime, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
Sure.
But one thing I was just thinking about right now, since there's so many tequilas to talk about, let's grab one a week, Joey, and let's focus on one specific tequila, and we'll dive into it next week. This week, it'll be the Suavecito Añejo, and this one is aged for 2 years in a retired American oak bourbon barrel. Suavecito Añejo perfectly captures the adage of the good things that come in that those who wait, right? A deep amber color, bright and bold, yet but remarkably smooth. That has to be a taste that has to be savored and tried. A perfect representation of a spirit of aged tequila. The Añejo honors the proud traditions and the craft of making a superior tasting that deserves to be savored. Next week, we'll do another one. Talk about the Suavecito Añejo, Bill, on this one. This week.
To be an Añejo tequila, it only needs to be aged in a barrel 1 year. So as you can imagine, my competition at 1 year and 1 week, they're bottling it and shipping it out. We aged 2 years. So we double age it. We extra age all of our tequilas because that gives it more flavor, more texture, more smoothness, and other tequilas just don't do that. Our Añejo is our number one seller by far.
Well, last one for me, and that is the Añejo, and we'll stay on that topic. We'll do one a week.
Yeah, we'll do one a week.
I want to just mention the Añejo is my favorite as well.
Next week will be the single barrel, Joe.
Well, I love it. So your thoughts?
1 week,
right? Can I talk about the Añejo? Okay, so if we're going to talk, we're doing it. So let's do the Añejo.
Let's do it.
So when I like the extra Añejo is my favorite, but so many people say for the price, the Añejo is almost like getting an extra Añejo for an Añejo price. Can you talk about the extra year that you age that and how that relates to how that almost makes it an extra Añejo already?
Oh yeah, it almost does. Extra aging, the tequila gets flavor and color and texture from the barrel it's aged in. So for me to age it twice as long as the competition, my Añejo tequila is going to have more texture, more color, and more flavor than the competition.
Bill, last one for me. I know that you were a coach at the University of Colorado, and this past week, Coach Prime announced that he was going through bladder cancer, and a very touchy subject on the final word because I've gone through my process of my recovery, and we both are now in remission. But talk about Coach Prime's his testimony when he came out there, and that's not easy, man. This is Coach Prime. He's flashy. He said
one of the greatest athletes in the 20th century.
In fact, I think he was voted as one of the best ones behind Jesse Owens.
He was in the top five.
And when he said, I have to use the pens now for the rest of my life. I can't feel when I go to the bathroom. When I have to go to the number one or number two, I don't know. And I have to carry a bag with me. And he's like, and then he shed some funniness. He's like, I'm going to get a sponsor with this and I'm going to have the pens. Talk about his statement and his press conference. When you saw that, it makes you want to love Coach Prime a little more, doesn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. He's
authentic.
His dedication to his sport, to his team, to what he does and how he does it is just remarkable. And I was very impressed with all he said. I don't know a lot about cancer. I hope I don't get it. But what he said about it and what he said he's got to do and that what he is going to do.
What his challenges are.
Yeah, was phenomenal. And you know what? He's going to do it.
Well, nothing is impossible. You know, as we go to break, I want to just chime off real quick because both of us, we all at this table love Coach Prime. Alex and I have been up there for every single press conference, all the big wins, the bad losses. We've been through it all with him. It feels like we're almost family, right, Alex? I mean, in some ways. So it's personal. And of course, you know, my best friend also having to have a cancer, you know, colon cancer, which is devastating, and he made it through that. So he and Coach Prime have, you know, a bond in that manner. I can only say this, man. Dion, I hope you get through this, brother. You know, and we're rooting for you, man. We'll see you on Friday, and I'm super excited to grab a picture with him. Great guy, man. Love that guy.
All right, hold on real quick. Next week, the focus will be Suavecito, Reposado, Cristalino. So do your homework, all right?
Man, I don't need my homework, man. I should sell that stuff. So you want to hear it? Suavecito Cristalino is aged through charcoal filter. It's aged.
Don't spill it. We're gonna go through the chat.
I got you, man. It's aged 9 months in a whiskey barrel.
Joe,
9 months plus in a whiskey barrel.
6 weeks to go through this.
Got you, man. I love it.
And
I love it.
A Total Wine Spirits, Joey. Where can they get them, Joey?
Well, I'll tell you what. Everywhere. All you got to do is just go into your local Total Wine across the country, and you will find Suavecito tequila. And finally, Alex, if your liquor store doesn't have it,
you demand it, Joey.
The hotel you're staying at doesn't have it.
You demand it, Joey.
The restaurant you're eating at,
you demand it, Joey.
That's right. We demand it at each and every place. You need Suavecito tequila in your life. Make it part of each NFL Sunday. All right, when we get back, WBC Hall of Famer Stephen Blea. That's right, Hall of Famers only on this program today.
Say that one more time, Joe?
WBC Hall of Famer Stephen Blea. He joins the final word next. Crawford Canelo, who you got? We'll talk to Mr. Blea next about that and much, much more when you return to the final word on the Mile High Sports YouTube channel.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Foss, the owner and maker of Suavecito Tequila. Suavecito Tequila is unique from any other tequila for three main reasons. The first one is my agave farm in Mexico. It's an hour and a half south of Guadalajara, and it's up in the mountains at a 7,000-foot altitude. So we have mountain-grown agave. Americans hear about mountain-grown coffee and mountain-grown grapes. They never hear about mountain-grown agave, okay? Only 8 or 9% of all tequilas are made with highlands agave, and it's superior to lowlands agave. Number two, I extra age my tequilas. To be a reposado, it has to be stored in a barrel for 2 months. I keep it there for 9 months. The añejo has to be in the barrel 1 year. I keep it 2 years. The extra añejo has to be in the barrel 3 years. I age it 5 years. That extra aging just gives it more body, more texture, and more flavor. And last but not least, we're the only tequila that adds 2% agave nectar back into the tequila. This little bit of agave nectar eliminates the burn going down your throat. Makes Suavecito tequila the smoothest tequila you will ever drink.
My name is Anthony with Plunge Plus Plumbing. We've been in business for 16 years. We service from Longmont to Castle Rock and everywhere in between. We specialize in service work, underground sewers, water heaters, drain cleaning, faucet repair. If it's in your home, we fix it. We also ensure that our customer service is top notch and customer satisfaction is our utmost priority. Our motto is honest service, honest price. We're not going to sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need or that you don't want. We'll just take care of the issue at hand and be on our way. Most of the time we can get there same day. If you need plumbing, give us a shout. 720-434-5832. Or you can reach us on our website at plungeplus.com. We are proud sponsors.
My name is Anthony Mayer, owner and founder of Game Time PDR. We're located in north part of Denver, 6825 Broadway, pretty much on Highway 36 and I-25. So we specialize in repairing hail damaged vehicles. My technicians have special rods, and the goal is to get the tools underneath the dents. And with the special lights and the angles, they're able to actually massage the metal back to factory standards. We offer a done-for-you service from top to bottom. Literally, the customer doesn't have to do anything. They bring their vehicle to us, we get them under our specialty lights, We write up an estimate, submit them to the insurance, get it approved from the insurance, get it in production, get it washed up, and get it back to the customer. We do waive deductibles up to $1,000, and anybody that mentions the Colorado Spartans, we're giving them a $200 gift card. Go Spartans!
With millions of page views every year, ColoradoPreps.com is the #1 source for the high school sports community to keep up with the latest news and scores. From football and volleyball to basketball and softball, ColoradoPreps.com provides a year-round hub for coaches, friends, and family to stay connected to their favorite schools and athletes, and keep an eye on their rivals. Covering high school sports from the peaks to the plains, you always get the latest at ColoradoPreps.com.
Spartans! What is your profession? Disgusting. This is madness. Spartans never retreat. Spartans never surrender. This is...
I played with arguably the best corner to ever lace him up in Champ Bailey. And guess what? He too was victimized by certain plays, but he never gave up. And that's what I see in PS2, right? The idea of never giving up. Yes, you may get beat, but he is a...
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Foss, the owner and maker of Suavecito Tequila. Suavecito Tequila is unique from any other tequila for three main reasons. The first one is my agave farm in Mexico. It's an hour and a half south of Guadalajara, and it's up in the mountains at a 7,000-foot altitude. So we have mountain-grown agave. Americans hear about mountain-grown coffee and mountain-grown grapes. They never hear about mountain-grown agave, okay? Only 8 or 9% of all tequilas are made with Highlands agave, and it's superior to Lowlands agave. Number two, I extra age my tequilas. To be a reposado, it has to be stored in a barrel for 2 months. I keep it there for 9 months. The añejo has to be in the barrel 1 year. I keep it 2 years. The extra añejo has to be in the barrel 3 years. I age it 5 years. That extra aging just gives it more body, more texture, and more flavor. And last but not least, we're the only tequila that adds 2% agave nectar back into the tequila. This little bit of agave nectar eliminates the burn going down your throat. Makes Suavecito Tequila the smoothest tequila you will ever drink.
All right, we are back. Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez, live here from number 38, The Final Word. And what a joy and honor at this time to be joined by our great friend, Stephen Blea. I mean, WBC Hall of Famer says it all, and in so many aspects, the #1 referee that I know in boxing and MMA, combat sports, so versatile, so many championship fights. I can't really even speak about it. We'll get to that exact number from him, but we are going to be talking about the next fight of the century, the next great one, and that is Canelo versus Crawford. And this one is highly anticipated. Terrence Crawford undefeated. Canelo Alvarez his only loss to Floyd Mayweather. And I'm going to bring on Mr. Stephen Blea at this time. Stephen, first of all, good morning to you. And, you know, you highly anticipated showdown. I maybe a fight I wish would happen maybe a couple years ago, but still we have it now, and it's coming to us very soon, about a month and a couple weeks, and it's going to be Canelo and Crawford in Las Vegas. Your early thoughts on the fight? This one, people have been clamoring for this. They've wanted this for a while. Well, it's here. Your first thoughts on the fight?
Well, like you said, it's going to be a barn burner. I think it's an awesome fight. And technically, yes, it should have came a few years back. But a lot of people don't understand that Crawford was at a lower weight class and he's moving up because he's looking for a challenge. And Canelo's the biggest challenge out there. He's the biggest payday out there. All I can say is may the best man win, because it's going to be a matter of who boxes, who lands the punches,
Well, first of all, before we start diving in, Joe, you just jumped in right away. Like, hey, man.
Let's get in we only got so much time for Stephen.
No, I get it. I understand that, man. But we have to talk about the flowers that we have to respect Mr. Blea.
Well, sure.
Who is the WBC Hall of Fame referee, just got inducted recently.
Yep.
Mauricio Salomon. How you say it?
Yeah.
Mauricio Salomon. And you guys are boys. And you were just telling my nephew during the break how you went to that fight in Guadalajara when Canelo fought the British guy.
Yep.
And I remember watching the fight. Me and my dad were at home on pay-per-view on my Fire Stick. Well, nobody saying nothing. I was watching it on the pay-per-view. Anyways, I remember you guys all came down. It was the guys that were the brass of the WBC. And you've been at our old studio before. You brought in us medals and for WCB cares and certificates and how we support the community, because we do that because you do that. And you do that. That's why we love you, bro. But I remember that fight specifically that night. You were telling Isaac, my nephew, that, and I was watching. Raylene's in the studio right now, just shouting. She's just looking at us. You were in a tuxedo. I've never seen you in a tuxedo ever before.
Yeah,
you were dressed up with the nines, and it was like, De La Hoya. It was the guy from Top Rank, Bill Arm, Bob Arm. It was like everybody who's who, and you were there. And I told my dad, I said, Dad, you know him. I said, you've met him many times. I've done about 5-6 ring fights, and you've always helped me out during those fights. And Joe's done the play-by-play on the side of the cards. And first of all, I just want to say thank you for taking the time out and carving out your busy schedule, because I know you're busy. Yeah. And we honored you this past year as well at the Colorado Spartans game, where you were the honorary individual that
coin toss, right?
The coin toss.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're not inducted into the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame yet, dang it, you need to be in it now, because you've done so much for the sport of boxing, for the kids that you train. And it doesn't matter how big the gym is or how big the fighter is. You recognize every individual as a Canelo or as a Terrence Crawford. And that, I'm going to tip my hat off to you, because once they know you and they get to know you and what you're all about, man, you've been doing this for a long time. You met Muhammad Ali. You've met Canelo when he was nothing. And now to have you here again, now at our third studio, because you were at one studio at 9775 Lincoln Street.
That was fun with Stephen Johnson.
Yeah, yep. Stephen Johnson, Blackness, you had the that column he had. And then we had you on at our studio at the Tech Center. And now you're at our new studio. First of all, how you like the studio, first of all? You like it?
Cool. This is awesome. I really think this is more
us,
sports,
more of us. Yeah, it's more everybody. And then now we have you here to preview what's going to happen. Before we even dive into the fight, and I'm glad you did, Joey, but talk about your relationship with the Final Word and what you've been to many of our charity events with Broncos. You brought kids, bowling, everything. I love you, brother.
Well, one of the reasons why I really appreciate everything that you guys have done, I appreciate that you've also invited me to so many different events. And, that's very humbling, because, my goal is always to give back to the kids of the community, because that's what I've done for the last 57 years as a boxing coach and a former official. And the thing that I love most that you guys do is because you have like these bowling tournaments. You do these different events with the Broncos and whomever it can be. And, for me to be a part of it, that's one thing that's like our WBC cares that Don Jose Suma instilled in us all, is about being community. It's not about the boxing. It's not about the violence. It's about the people behind the sport, because we all have a heart and we do care about our brothers and sisters. And the most important thing, you guys do the same thing. Even though you're behind the radio station, you have a mic, you're out there trying to get the inside scoop about that person's humanity. And that's just like I've seen a lot of things that you done, even with Coach Sanders with the CU Buffaloes. Oh man, the story behind that man, besides him being an awesome all-pro person, people got to know the man, how he truly is. And he's a humanitarian. And you guys do it all. So, I appreciate just being here. I'm very humbled. You, Joe, and Alex, I mean, you guys bring out a lot in the community. A lot of people should know that and should respect that, because, hey, you guys should have $1 million studio. This studio is really, really nice. I appreciate being here, and I thank you again. I appreciate it.
Well, it's always an honor, because you've done more in boxing than we'll ever hope to do. You forgot more about boxing than we know, but you've always been humble. You always reached out to us. When we first started doing this, you were always in our corner. We didn't get to the places we would be, in combat sports without you. If we didn't have our affiliation, and and the reason why I want to jump right in, because we only have limited amount of time to talk about this. We have the great Troy Renck coming on right after you, and so I was trying to balance the show. But this is the type of fight that I'm a little kid when it comes to boxing, right? You got, we all love Muhammad Ali. The Chavez got years. This is a big fight, right? These are two fighters that are everybody knows, household names, right? And I think I've wanted this fight since like all the boxing fans. I've been waiting for this one. How bad have you been waiting for this one? And let's start talking a little bit about the fight. What do you see for the Crawford side of things? Can you give me maybe a couple of advantages you see for Terrence going into this fight, because he's the one moving up in weight, right?
Yes, he is. There's one thing that I could tell you, that I did Terrence Crawford's very first pro boxing match when he turned pro. And his fight was here at the Denver.
That doesn't surprise me.
And then I judged his second pro fight. And then you go back to Canelo's side. I got to see Canelo since he was 19 years old, because I've done a lot of fights in Mexico. I've done a few fights, quite a few in Guadalajara. But that's all because of the sport. But, as far as me picking them, I love them both. And I can't.
You can't.
Because not just
put them
ethics.
on spots. You can't ask.
No.
It's
Listen, man,
ethics,
I didn't ask for a pick, Alex.
No, okay.
I know, but as a coach, I could tell you how one could beat one,
right?
But then I could tell you how the other one's going to destroy the other one.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said
That's a
it.
different question, Joe.
Wait, I did. No, wait. I asked
know
you
you
from
did.
Terrence's side of things. Give me a couple of advantages you see Terrence have. I didn't say who's going to win the fight.
I know that. We just got to give him
Have a
more
little
time.
fun. Yeah, we got. Yeah, exactly,
right.
man.
Joey's
Yeah.
like, how much money I'm going to put on this fight?
No.
Hey, that
there ain't
could have
no
something to
bets
do with
coming
it.
here.
Maybe.
Hey, no. But the bottom line is Terrence. Oh man, he's like the all-around boxer. He's got speed. He's got power. But I respect him for who he is, because he's come up. He's one of them boxers that doesn't get all the publicity, get all the what he should be getting, like a Canelo or a Ryan Garcia. These guys, no, come on. Clarence Crawford is the deal. He's the real deal. Now, let's talk about Canelo. Canelo built himself up from a street kid, no different than Clarence, than Crawford. It's just that Bud is built different, and that's why he's going up for that championship. He's going for that title. And recently I just seen him, and it's so funny because he always tells me, you remember when you were in my first pro fight? And I just seen him in Canada. So we had a little talk about a few things. And it's pretty cool when you know these fighters and you can sit there and talk to them. Just like when I see Canelo, that's Raylene's favorite fighter. She gets all Google-eyed when she sees him. But she's seen him grow as a young man and into the champion that he is. And I respect that, because you know what? He's come a long way. And, my boxers in my gym, they love Canelo. Matter of fact, next week we're going to have a competition with some Canelo shirts that they're going to get, that we got from Canelo's people. And it's pretty cool. They're going to bust their butts to try to win that shirt. So both of them are just awesome champions. that represent their communities and their homes. And what more could you ask for? But somebody's got to win. Somebody got to lose.
So a couple of things. This might go a little bit long. Give me a second, Joey. All right, just hang out for a second. Joey and I went to the last fight of the century, 2015. Joey and I got press credentials to the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight. That was in Vegas. There was only 3 media credentials that were accepted there. That was myself, actually 4. Myself, Joe Rico, Vic Lombardi, and Nick Roque from the Denver Post at that time when he worked at that time.
Yep.
We went out there and we spent our own dime on that. We went out there. No one was paying for us. We had no sponsors. I mean, that was 10 years ago.
Yep.
We went out there, very disappointing fight. Out Mayweather fights and this and that. They're like, oh, this fight should have been done 10 years ago because they were not in their prime anymore. And I agree with that. All right. Number 2, when I do fighting ring announcements, I always appreciate you. And I had just gotten back from colon cancer. I was in Wyoming. Remember that fight? I want to say 4 years ago.
It's during COVID, I think.
No, it was after COVID.
Yeah, but it was still the restriction.
Wyoming was the first state that opened up the boxing commission again.
Yeah.
And I remember walking in there. I was like 180 pounds, man. And Mr. Blea was like, Alex. And I was like, I don't know. I did it for, forgot his name. Raul. Yeah. I did it. And he wanted me to get back in there. I did 12 fights that night in Wyoming. And you were like, Alex, you can do it. You can do it. You kept pushing me. It's okay. Just say this, just say that. And I was dying, man. I had just got my ostomy bag out. And for that, I will always, always be grateful to you because it was a long, hot fight at that arena.
Yeah.
Number 3. So thank you, first of all. I appreciate that. Number 3. Saul Canelo Alvarez, 63-2, 39 KOs, will defend his undisputed super middleweight championship against Terrence Crawford, 41-0, 31 KOs in Las Vegas on September 13th. And this seems to be now the hottest ticket in the world. This is going to be a fight presented by a few different companies. The Vegas promoter is Turki Al-Shaki. That's the Saudi Arabia. So all of our credentials, all of our media stuff has to go to the Saudi team. And I love it. Dana White will also be a part of that. Oscar De La Hoya, because he's part of WBC, will be a part of that, is from my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we are right now in the process of getting our stuff credentialized, and to have you out there with us and to go out there for this fight. What does this fight mean as far as a legacy fight? As far as when they had Roberto Duran against Cesar Chavez or the Thriller of Manila, is that one of those fights, Mr. Blea, where you see it could go down as one of those, or are these guys past their time and that should have happened already?
That's a very good question because, like I said, Bud Crawford could make history because moving up in the weight classes to win. And as far as Canelo, the thing that bothers me is it's like damned if he does and damned if he don't, because no matter if he wins or loses, people will always find a way to sham him. They forget about how he came up and where he's at. So the most important thing that I want to see is there's 2 choices here. You either go with the new breed because Bud's been around, or you stay with the old guy. And Canelo's not old, but ring-wise, yes. He's been in a lot of wars. But you know what? It's hard because I respect them both.
Well, look, we got to roll. Listen,
hold on.
I can talk to
you.
So
who has more? Hold on. Who has more to lose to win? If Canelo wins, all right, life keeps going. But Crawford wins. Whoa!
That's exactly what you can say. Whoa.
Okay.
Well, I mean, first of all, that's a whole different show. This is a guy who we can have on for a whole different week, and maybe after the fight we could have you down here and we can break down every bit of it, because I do think it's important that we give this fight way more attention. I'm not going to ask for a prediction from anybody. I just want to say I love you, and you do so much for me, my family, Alex, his family, the Colorado Commission. Everything you do, you're a legend and a Hall of Famer in our books. Just forget about what the record says. On the final word, you're our boxing authority. You're the guy that when I talk about boxing or I need a question answered,
We go to
I don't
Stephen
call
Blea.
anybody but you. And I just think that I'm not alone. I'm not alone. There's other Hall of Famers that still call you. That says everything that needs to be said. Other Golden Gloves Hall of Famers still pick up the phone and need your advice or need things.
And you do,
you know, and you take that information very
you do
seriously.
mixed martial arts. You do
Yeah.
other fighting as well because you teach these young referees that are coming up how to do it. And I
Well,
love it, man.
listen. I'm not being rude.
Joe,
we got Troy Rank
Yeah,
on
we
hold.
got it. Let him
So
finish.
I'll let you finish it. But give us your last. Go ahead and finish answering that last
Well,
one.
What I was going to say is because a lot of people, like now we have like bare knuckle coming into the world.
Yep.
We have a girl from Colorado, Patty Waters, is a 2-time bare knuckle champion.
Yep.
I hope you guys could get press credentials to go to this. It's August the 15th.
Nick Bushman's.
So I want you guys to
representative.
come. Mike Vasquez is in charge. He owns the company.
Yeah.
You guys got to go see this because this is the new thing coming out.
Sure. We've been
let's
to
move on.
Yeah, I'll say this. We've been to about 7 or 8 productions in bare knuckle. You've been out there with us a couple times. Great productions, by the way. Seen some great fights. Conor McGregor came down, brought a bottle of bourbon down. The whole place went nuts. Look, it is the future. Look, please come back. All right, please come
Thank
back
you guys.
after the fight. You got to come back. Raylene, come back.
Well,
we'll do a little breakdown.
We might be doing some live video.
Live
out here
video
in
from Vegas.
here.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
you're coming out to
and
Vegas.
we'll
You
talk-
going out to Vegas with us for this one? Raylene, come on, buddy.
Really, you coming out to Vegas with us?
Yeah, she is. All right. She
Thumbs
throws her
up is
thumbs
all I
up.
wanted to hear.
All right. Hey, listen, when we get back, we have the great Troy Rank. He is waiting in the bullpen when you return to the final word on the Mile High Sports YouTube channel.
This is madness.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Blasphemy. This is madness. Spartans never retreat. Spartans never surrender.
This is Sparta!
My name is Anthony with Plunge Plus Plumbing. We've been in business for 16 years. We service from Longmont to Castle Rock and everywhere in between. We specialize in service work, underground sewers, water heaters, drain cleaning, faucet repair. If it's in your home, we fix it. We also ensure that our customer service is top notch and customer satisfaction is our utmost priority. Our motto is honest service, honest price. We're not going to sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need or that you don't want. We'll just take care of the issue at hand and be on our way. Most of the time we can get there same day. If you need plumbing, give us a shout. 720-434-5832. Or you can reach us on our website at plungeplus.com. We are proud sponsors of the final.
With millions of page views every year, ColoradoPreps.com is the #1 source for the high school sports community to keep up with the latest news and scores. From football and volleyball to basketball and softball, ColoradoPreps.com provides a year-round hub for coaches, friends, and family to stay connected to their favorite schools and athletes, and keep an eye on their rivals. Covering high school sports from the peaks to the plains, you always get the latest at ColoradoPreps.com.
Oh, here we go.
All right, you are back at the final word, Joe
There he
Rico,
is.
Alex Ramirez. We are here with the great Troy Rank. Troy, we are sorry we had Stephen Blea, Hall of Famer from the WBC, on
Getting
for the
ready to go
Canelo
to
Crawford fight.
Crawford, man. Sorry, man.
Fight had to be said. That script is going. There's purpose to that segment, Troy, and you
wanna go with
understand.
us?
I don't know, Troy. We'll see what he's going to be. I think
Go
he'll
to
be
Vegas
tied
with
up
us.
with like 800
Canelo
things then.
Crawford. Let's go.
So anyway, Troy, good morning to you, or good afternoon to you. You've been out at Broncos training camp all week, and I'll start by that. I'll start with that. This is a team with expectations for the first time in a long time. I think it's realistic to say that 10 wins is probably a floor instead of a ceiling for once. Your thoughts a little bit on what you've seen so far in camp. And I think injuries might be the key word of the day. And I think that's kind of the key word of the year for this team. Your thoughts on some of the early injuries? Are they minor, or is this a trend we don't want to see?
Well, listen, it's a concern when Dre Greenlaw goes full speed on a drill and
Okay.
all of a sudden you can't.
That's Troy.
No, he's there. He just...
Hey, guys, you got me?
There
You
he
guys
is.
got me?
Can't hear him.
I can hear him a little bit. Turn him up.
Try it again.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, Troy?
Hey, you guys got me?
All right,
Yeah,
we
there
got
we
you.
go.
Hey, there you
What's
go,
up, Troy?
Troy. Sorry about that. Did you hear the question?
Wrong mute.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, I got the questions. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, so listen, Dre Greenlaw, when he goes full speed in a coverage drill against J.K. Dobbins, his quad tightened up. That's worth monitoring because that's what, he missed part of the offseason with, was that because when he's out there, he provides an intensity, electricity to his style that there's no one else is like him on that defense. And so we got to keep an eye on that. Inside linebacker has been an issue, but Alex Singleton's back at practice already, limited. He broke his thumb ligament issue, but he's already back. If it were a playoff game, he would have played with a cast on. But they've got to keep guys healthy because that's the only way they're going to get to 11 and 12 wins. Joe, you mentioned 10 is the floor. I would agree with you. I think some people think it's 9. But listen, I talked to Peyton Manning this week at length about the Broncos and Bo Nix, and my column's in the Denver Post online right now and in the paper today. He says, listen, I've been to practice. I've been in the building. I know the difference between hoping and believing, and this team has a reason to believe they can win. They should be confident. And this is a guy who had 15 winning seasons in 17 years. He's the last quarterback to send them to the playoffs, 2015. They are a good team. They're an ascending team, but they're vulnerable because the positions where they upgraded all deal with guys who get hurt, and they're a little older. So they just have to keep an eye on that. But Talanoa Hufanga made the play of training camp on an interception, jumping up out of nowhere and picking off Bo Nix on an RPO play. You got Dre Greenlaw, who's the best linebacker they've had since Danny Trevathan. Evan Ingram looks like a mismatch at tight end, and J.K. Dobbins is going to start at running back. Those guys are healthy. They can legitimately win the AFC West. If they're not, then they're looking at 10 wins and a wild card again.
You are listening to Troy Renck from the Denver Post, and I saw that column, man, with Peyton Manning. He thinks we can actually get one postseason victory. I think that was badass. Good stuff for you. Listen, I saw one of your socials yesterday. You mentioned they execute 2 contract extensions, $110 million, $500,000 in guaranteed money for Cortland Sutton and Zach Allen in the same week. No drama. No back and forth in the press. Players' agents appear to trust the Broncos' word. And then you look at Jerry's world and you see what's going on there and that craziness. Dude, this is a different regime now that's going on here, and I love it. I saw Jerry said, well, don't worry about Cowboys fans. You're not going to lose sleep over this. Well, hell yeah, you're going to lose sleep over this. Dude, this is a different Broncos organization with ownership all the way around, and that these last 2 contracts have showed who's next.
Well, and Nick Bonito would be next, and it's a great question. The issue is he's willing to wait right now. He's not in a rush because he wants Trey Hendrickson and Micah Parsons to get their contracts done first. And the next question is, well, he's not Trey Hendrickson. He's not Micah Parsons. He's not. But when those contracts come in, it raises the floor of the position. So rather than say you're going to try to get him at 21, then he says, well, now the average salary of these players is now I want 25. So that's why he's willing to wait. He's not in a rush. His people, his agent, they're not in a rush to negotiate. I believe when that gets done, or if it gets done, it'll be during the season, like Jonathan Cooper last year. I don't believe it'll get done before the season. Again, partly because Benito's not in a rush, and Parsons, if Jerry follows suit with his Real Housewives of Dallas episode he runs every day at training camp, If he follows suit, he'll get it done like an hour before kickoff for their first game on Thursday night. That's just how the Cowboys do business. And it does matter. Jerry's a terrible general manager. They haven't been to the NFC Championship since, 1996. That's Rockies-esque. That's just being loyal to incompetent. When the owner is the GM, he's loyal to himself, doing stupid stuff where they don't win playoff games. The Broncos figured it out with Hackett. They had to get rid of him. Russell Wilson, not a fit. You got to get rid of him. Do they have more money than any other ownership, Alex? Yes, they do. But it's not just about spending money. It's how you spend it, how you conduct your business. You guys deal with a ton of advertisers. The reason you get more is because of the way you deal with them. If you're constantly rude to people, mean to people, you hang up on them, you use people, yeah, you can get stuff done, but it fractures relationships, and I don't trust you. That's the word that you hear from the players right now with the Broncos, with Sean Payton, with Bo Nix as their quarterback, with the Penner-Walton group. We trust them to do the right thing. And frankly, how many right moves has the ownership group made since they took over? Firing Hackett, get rid of Wilson, hiring Sean Payton, going all in on a young quarterback. Every move they've made, for the most part, has worked out. And so players sense that. Players want to be here. The last time I covered a team like that, some of that was 2015, but John Elway always had a little acrimony with agents. The last time it really felt like that was the 97-98 team I covered for the Broncos, where players wanted to be here. They knew that, hey, if we're good, we're all going to eat. If the way we go out and get into these playoff games, we're all going to get attention. We're going to be in primetime games. We're all going to eat. So it's just really a lot of positive momentum right now, but now they got to prove it. They've taken the right steps. They've turned the corner. The blinker's no longer on, but now you got to prove it. And the next step is winning a playoff game, making a run in the playoffs.
Well, and I think that this is the thing with me. I think that everything starts over again when you make the playoffs, and then we can talk about it. But I think the beginning thing is getting to the playoffs. And I think that getting there maybe as a division champion rather than a wild card, I think that might be the first step. And I think there's some chinks in the armor of the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the up front offensive line, I don't think they improved. They're counting on a guy in Josh Simmons. I'm not 100% sold on that guy. They got a contract done with Karlaftis. They have Chris Jones, but when you look at the defense, there's holes in the secondary. They haven't necessarily replaced some of the guys who left. I think there's reason for hope. And I think the other thing is when 3 or 4 free agents who signed with the Broncos say that Bo Nix was one of the primary reasons that they signed with this team, I mean, what else are you going to ask for? I mean, these are guys that the players, I believe that the media can say whatever they want to, and it's very subjective. Players, nah, they're not easily sold. These guys want to win. I don't care who you are, how much money you make. If you choose winning or losing, Bo Nix was mentioned, I think, in 3 guys that came over here. I mean, how important is that? Because that is, like you said, that's not something we've had since number 18 hung it up.
Yeah, listen, when you don't have stability at quarterback in the NFL, it's almost impossible to win right now. And you look at every year in the playoffs, who makes the deep run? It's Josh Allen. It's Lamar Jackson. It was Matthew Stafford one year. Jared Goff's been really good in Detroit. Jaden Daniels now in Washington. There's this common denominator, and most of them were first-round picks, to be frank with you. So guys look at that and say, this guy's going to be here a while. Sean Payton's not going anywhere. Sean Payton has a history of winning division titles. He's won a Super Bowl. They, because Payton, people believe he's not the easiest coach to play for. Coaching for him is not the easiest, but the longer you're with him and you get more guys that are part of kind of his guys, Joe, that buy into his culture, then you see why it works. Like the first year, those first few months, it was rugged because you got a bunch of holdovers from the Hackett thing. Some of them weren't good enough. And you got a bunch of guys who are kind of elitists who think they're too good to practice or too good for this. They had to move on from all these guys, create a culture. And now guys see why it works. When Sean Payton tells you, hey, if you run this route 1 yard longer in a game on 3rd down, we're going to get a first down. And then they watch it on film. Or if you call a fake punt during the week of the AFC Championship game, tell your players we're going to call it and it's going to work. And you go out and do it and it works. That's how you breed confidence in your players. Like, hey, I think this guy knows what he's doing. But it wouldn't work if the quarterback was Jared Stidham. Sit him. It's like, it ain't pretty, it's Stidham. If it was Stidham, guys aren't lining up to sign here. I love Stidham. Great interview, great dude. You're not lining up to sign here unless it's a complete overpay. And the Broncos didn't overpay these guys they brought in. Frankly, most of the deals were reasonable. And Greenlaw had offers from a lot of guys, and certainly to go back. But Bo Nix, he's an ascending player, but it's not just that. It's how he is in the building. Him understanding his role, Joe, his responsibility as the Broncos quarterback in the community, the first guy in the locker room, the last guy to lead, his professionalism. Guys see that and go, hey, we can win with this guy. Doesn't mean he's going to be an all-pro. No one's saying that. But it does. Players look at it and say, I can win with this guy. That's all they care about in the locker room. You identified it. If I feel like I can win with you, you're a foxhole guy with me then. If I feel like you're not taken seriously, you're not in your playbook, you're late to meetings, most guys, 99% of them don't have the talent to overcome that at the professional level. You can get away with it in college. You can't in the NFL. So they look around and see Peyton runs a tight ship. The expectations are clear, but he also lets them sleep in. They don't start practice at 7 a.m. He does things in the locker room to make it easier. The Pinners create recovery stuff to make guys healthier. So it's all part of it, but it works because you've got the right owner, the right GM, the right coach, and for the players, specifically the right quarterback.
So Troy, before I got in the media about 13 years ago, I used to go to Vegas all the time as a degenerate gambler with my buddies. And for opening weekend, and I used to call it, we'd go down and we'd talk to the cab drivers. We called it the cab driver special, right? Because you guys, the guys and there was no internet or, social media at that time. They would have their newspaper on their dash as they're driving us to the MGM so we can go to the opening weekend of the football games. And I would always ask them, what are your thoughts? Who do you guys think is going to win this weekend? And I kind of compared it to a correlation. I was like, well, this preseason has been shortened now, so none of these starters are going to be playing. Like, you're not going to see Christian McCaffrey on Saturday. You're not going to see Bo Nix or Greenlaw, any of these, top guys that are on both sides of the teams. And then you start thinking about, okay, so as the season gets going, and there isn't that really preseason, to build up that callus on your hand while you're playing, do you believe the NFL with, shortening the preseason might impact the start of the regular season where players might not be ready to go because they don't have all those repetitions. And yes, teams are coming in to practice. I believe the 49ers are coming in this week to practice with the Broncos, but that's not enough game reps, right? I mean, do you think that might affect, and I guess I want to say from a fantasy standpoint as well, I'm talking to my boys out there that are listening, how is that going to affect the opening start of the regular season for NFL all the way across 32 teams if you don't have any repetitions going into the season? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, listen, those first couple of weeks of the NFL season for the last 5-7 years have just been chaotic because teams are so different in how they handle the preseason. A lot of teams now don't play guys. Sean Payton, I wouldn't be surprised if Bo Nix plays a couple series against San Francisco, plays closer to a half a game in the second one against Arizona, and then doesn't play at all, obviously, in that last one, the third one against New Orleans. But the starters are going to play with Sean Payton. He believes in playing them. It's not a lot, but he's going to play them. But to your point, the NFL believes this, and I don't know that I follow suit. They believe, the coaches believe they can get closer to game ready without the extra preseason games through those joint practices. They'll do one with San Francisco this Friday before the game on Saturday, I believe it is, or Thursday. They're only doing one day of it, not two, is my understanding. And then the following week, they're going to do one against the Cardinals. Those are the days the first team guys really need to get the reps. That's when Bo Nix won the job last year, was in that joint practice against Green Bay out in Dove Valley. He was so good. You're like, okay, that's the starter. That was ones versus ones, everybody all in, and he clearly looked the part. But it's not like the old days where they played 4 games and the starters played, the second and third game and played almost all of the third game. Like, those days are over. And as soon as it goes to an 18-game schedule, we may not see preseason other than maybe one game, and it's just 3 weeks of trying to do joint practice. To answer your question, Alex, no, it doesn't get them ready. And you see just a crap ton of missed tackles week one. It's sloppy football. It leads to weird anomaly games where a guy will have 2 touchdowns, 130 yards, and then 5 weeks later, you've never heard of this guy because they don't tackle. They don't tackle at practice. So the one thing that you see is that ragged nature of no tackling shows up in those first couple of weeks. But I would say, if I'm not a gambler, but I would hammer the Broncos to win the opener against Cam Ward, a rookie quarterback on the road against
Troy
that
Renck
defense.
special.
There it is. It's a Troy
Is
Renck.
it Troy Renck special?
Hey,
There's
wait,
no-
by the way,
I cannot see a way in which
honey,
Tennessee
we're
is
getting a
competitive.
new car. Yes, we are
Babe,
getting
we're
a new
going-
car, 30 grand on the Broncos.
Troy
according
Renck
to
said it's
Troy.
gonna get
Put
done,
it
honey.
down. Slap it down. Hey, Troy, we
Kidding.
really
No
appreciate you joining us each and every Sunday. Look, other than following you on Twitter
Joe,
at Troy Renck.
can I ask him one
No,
more
it's
question?
no, we got to roll, man. I mean,
Can I ask you one more
sure.
question?
Okay, of course.
Real quick, your alma mater, your our guy that we cover every year, Coach Prime, came out this past week with his update on his health, and this Friday we will be at Media Day for CU. How eloquently and how awesome did he do it? And I mean, I'm a cancer patient myself, Troy, and I'm in remission, but dude, that was moving, man. That was pretty moving, right? What are your thoughts on that, Troy?
Yeah, God bless you, Alex, in your recovery. We're praying for you. It was inspirational, and it's harder than people think to share that message and go public. Now, he was in a position where questions were going to continue to be asked if he starts missing practices and games. So I do think he did the right thing, but it's hard because once you address it publicly, now you're part of the cancer community. There's a responsibility there that's different, but he wanted to have that conversation. He had his gallbladder removed, and the doctor said he's cured. He lost 25 pounds. I think he said he's gained 12 of it back. But it's a fight. And to Deion's credit, he made an uncomfortable topic comfortable. And it's a particularly uncomfortable topic for men. When you're talking about that type of cancer and having to have a porta potty on the sidelines and endorsement deals,
he has to wear diapers for the rest of his life, man.
Now the people they laugh, but I've had family. We have all know people.
So do I.
It's really difficult. So credit to Deion for being an inspiration on a very difficult day. And I think the thing I took most from it, no one gets criticized more for being selfish than Deion Sanders, both as an athlete and coach. But in getting the worst news of his life, he didn't make it about him. He made it about them, his children, protecting his 2 boys, giving them the best chance to make NFL teams. I think that said a lot about him as a father and how he's handled that. So credit to Deion and how he handled it.
Well, I don't care what people say about him. We're all human, right? And the number one thing I think of is, I'm a person of faith. He's a person of faith. And, we have a natural bond. And so I think we bonded on that level. I've asked him questions about football, but I've asked him questions that don't have anything to do with football. And I've enjoyed his consistency. I mean, for a guy who came in here as a Hall of Famer, I mean, let's face it, a lot of people had him big timing CU and using that as a stepping stone. And he was only here for a year. Well, I don't think that anymore. I think who knows? I'm not putting words in his mouth, but what a commitment to go and have that press conference. I think you more than definitely held your ground and made it very clear that you're happy to be at the University of Colorado. I saw a lot of humility. I was very surprised. And I think Coach Prime has changed his image a little bit from the very first day. Maybe he understands it's not just pomp and circumstance anymore and clicks and media. I think there's some substance there this year. There are no kids. There are no Travis Hunters. This is not just the Coach Prime, show on Amazon anymore. This is real this year. And for him to make that stand, he could have easily said, hey, I'm taking 4 months off. Nobody would have blamed him at all. I admire the guy, and I think that this one is bigger than football. I think we have to root for this guy because, just what an amazing story, and I think there's some talent there. So I'm interested to see what goes on Friday.
I don't know about the talent. Six returning starters is not going to make anybody.
I'm just talking about transfer portal talent, recruiting
the question
talent.
Was about Deion. And
right. Well, hold on. It was my question. I know. I'm just saying. I apologize. But, Troy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think people are going to be rooting for him, no doubt. Maybe even people that weren't fans of Deion before that press conference. It's just the issue, what are they going to do at quarterback? My guess is Lewis, the young kid's going to play, and the other guy's going to come in on rundowns.
He'll transfer, right?
Yeah, if he doesn't, he's going to transfer, is my guess. I don't know that, but it's been a headache behind the scenes in his recruitment. There's a reason USC didn't make a chance, really try to keep him at the end. And so my guess is he plays, and then the other guy comes in, and if the other guy is Cephal and he shows he can run and they're able to run the football, then they can be real competitive. If they depend on the pass game with a 17-year-old that looks like he should be on the cross-country team, I don't like their chances.
Yeah, me neither, Troy. Hey, Troy, thank you so much. Hey, how did they get your content this week and every week?
With the with cross-country team with like 5 companies behind him with all these organizations and NIL deals? Dude, spot on, dude. I'm not going to say anything about that because I got to go up there on Friday, and Joey does. Yeah. So I got to get shut my mouth.
Well, I'll say this.
Dude, you cannot have. I mean, okay.
To be fair, Lewis has a lot of talent. He was highly recruited. Many schools sought after him. I don't want to dismiss him as a guaranteed.
How many LLCs do you have, Joey? At 18 years old, coming out of Weaver's High School.
I'm just talking about simply his talent. Okay. I think this guy was recruited by several schools, and I think he's a year away, though. I think your best bet, literally, is to give this guy a year to watch the game and grow. Whether he transfers,
he'll be at Alabama.
Well, that's the deal, Joe, and is that I watched 2 of his high school games on ESPN, the full game. His arm's fine. He looks the part. He's just reclassified. He just needed another year in high school. That's all. If he was a year later, I'd say they got a guy, but right now he looks like a high school senior on a college campus. That's just, other than Bryce Harper, how many guys reclassify where it works out? I mean, Bryce Harper he was like 220 pounds in high school.
Bryce Harper was 16 years old on Sports Illustrated.
Right. The LeBrons of the world, like those body types, it doesn't matter. Adrian Peterson could have done it. He could have probably played college football as a freshman in high school. It's just hard to do. But I'm not rooting against the kid. I just physically think he's going to have to make some jumps to stay healthy. But you can find my content on Facebook at Troy Renck, TroyRenck. You can find it on my Twitter feed, the same.
That's right.
And of course, you can find it at denverpost.com/sports.
Dude, thank you so much for
Troy, great podcast as well, right here on My Life Sports.
I know you're busy, man. Thank you so much, Troy. You're awesome, dude.
Appreciate you, guys.
Have a great rest of your show.
Next week. You take care. All right, the great Troy Renck from the Denver Post.
Awesome. Dude.
Well, that'll wrap it up for us. Our thanks go out to the great Bill Foss from Suavecito Tequila, Stephen Blea from the WBC, Hall of Famer Stephen Blea, and of course, the excellent Troy Renck. For my partner, my man, Alejandro Ramirez, the man behind the glass, Nick Arch, and number 38. You make this show, Colorado. We'll see you next week on The Final Word on the My Life Sports YouTube channel.